Bhajahu re mana Sri Nanda Nandanaya Bhaya Charanara Bindare Bhajahu re mana Sri Nanda Nandanaya Bhaya Charanara Bindare.
Self-determination. In Gauriya Vaishnava also, similar, mukti hitta unnatha rupam sarupena bhavastiti. What is otherwise with us to get out of that diseased temporary condition and to be reinstated in one's real position. That is mukti, conception of mukti, positive. So, Jiva Goswami has connected the meaning of the Gayatri to Krishna Dasya. He has given. I did not come with this connection. But with this idea, I also tried to give a meaning of Gayatri towards the attainment of this service in Goloka. I have given step by step according to the thought, thinking of Bhagavata school. Ganat Rayati, by singing which properly we can get liberation. In the generality, we have to conceive different planes, gross and subtle, in this mundane world. It is there. Mundane world, or different planes, gross and subtle, to the seventh stage. Then, what is the sun of that world? This is the objective world, and the sun on which lightens that which give expression to that mundane conception, that is soul. The sun Shobita is synonymous to soul, because soul is only giving light and showing all these things. Without soul, a dead body, his eye cannot see. This light has got no value. The soul is in Bhagavad Gita also. Krishna make Dukamigam Ravi. Just as the sun makes expressive all this world, so the Atma is really expressing everything. Bhaggo means stage. Yes, like the ray of the sun. The Devascha. And he is ray of the another sun, Deva. And what is the qualification of the Deva? The acquaintance of the Deva? Dev means who has who is lustrous, beautiful, and who is playful. Div dhatu. Div means to play, and div means to get dipti, luster. And Deva is Pullinga, masculine figure, Purusha. There is a Purusha who is playful and who is beautiful. Beautiful, playful. That Sundar, beautiful, and Leelamoy has got pastage, playful. And his potency, Bhaggo. And we shall think of her, that potency, which will that will give us back in turn. We shall attain, try to give our all attention to that Dhimahi. Dhimahi means we shall go on meditation. In other words, the spiritual cultivation, that is service, we shall enjoy. Because he is our revered, and we must culture him. Revered culture means service. We shall serve him, serve the Bhargo, serve her, and the Dhiyo, and that spirit, the potency of that culture, of that spiritual culture, that is service, seva, will be given by him in return. Das kori betonmoye deho premodham. We shall serve. Service means without any fruit, no want of fruit. But in turn, it comes the more earnestness to serve. The prem we get as remuneration, prem. Prem means the more energy to serve. Our function is to serve, and we get remuneration from him, more energy and earnestness to serve. That is prem. Devamore Dhiyo Jona Prachodaya. And this from Kirtan I have drawn this Gayan, Kirtan, connection of Mahaprabhu, and also the flute sound of Krishna. Why? That is when Krishna plays the flute, the sound excites, informs all the servitors to be prepared for their service to meet him in Kunja or anywhere. It helps, the flute sound helps the cowboys to be attentive for their service, the gopis to be prepared for his service, and the Vatsalya Yashoda, Nanda Yashoda, they are also excited. The flute sound conducts them also for the engagement of their Vatsalya Yashoda service, to get the highest realization of service that flutes comes to help us. So this Gan is that Krishna Gan, this Gayatri, the sing, which is the basis of the revealed truth, the song, that is the echo of the flute sung of Krishna, and also the Kirtan, Sankirtan of Mahaprabhu. All are encouraging us to attain our highest end in the lovely service of the Supreme Lord, who is holds the reverent position of all the souls that are that the conscious spirit within this mundane world. So this comprehensive meaning we draw from Gayatri, covering the whole up to Goloka, which excites the sun, the sound that encourages us to attain our highest duty. That is meaning of the Gayatri. In this way I have given the candlelight, leading to our highest attainment, the Gayatri, Veda Mata, gives us to the revealed truth, which is the most fundamental plane from which the Vedic revealed truth is coming. Our nature is such, Prakriti, that is the potency, the most fundamental potency of Krishna, which recalls us to our practice, that are away from him. Just as the cows are grazing here and there, when Krishna sounds his flute, they all come together and they prepare to come to Goshtha by that truth of the sound. Because that guides everything, that sound guiding everything, and also guiding, helping us to join our duty, as duty. That is the idea, real deep meaning of that. Everything must have the connection with the highest plane. The highest plane, we must have connection with the highest center. Everything must have, some way or other. So, everything will more or less trying to take us there, in the real plane. And this is Swarup Shakti, the flow, underground flow, in-carrying current. And the external out-carrying current is Maya misconception, trying to concentrate us to local demand, provincial demand, selfish demand, out-carrying current, trying to concentrate us towards separate interests, so small or large. And the highest incoming current is always drawing towards the center. But in Bhagavad Gita, it has been given out that sun cannot show because the soul is there. Soul can show. Soul can help us to feel, not the sun. If no soul, the sun's father also cannot show anything to anyone. Really, soul can show us, not the sun. So, Krishna me kamimam rabi, just as apparently we think that when sun rises, we can see everything. So really, the Atma is there, which really shows us everything. Not only this eye showing, but this nose showing, the ear showing, everything, because the Atma is there, central. The conception of the outside world is possible only by the Atma, not the sun. Sun is a relative position. We can take it as an analogy, light analogy to the knowledge. Light has been used in many places as suggesting what sort of characteristic the spirit has got, soul has got. It is expressive. Just as apparently light is expressive, so soul is expressive. So to understand the real position of the soul, the subject, the center of knowledge, the light has been used in the as intermediate position. Just as light shows us things, so really soul shows us things. But who can understand, who can hold that all the conceptions is the function of the soul, they can understand. Then they think that light cannot give everything. Light can give only the figure, but there is the touch experience, the sound experience light cannot give. The scent experience light cannot give. So generally light can give some expression of conception, but really soul gives that conception to everything at the center. At the center of the nose experience, of the touch experience, of the sound experience, of the eye experience, in the center, the mind, the intelligence and the soul. Just as in Bhagavatam it is told that the moon is covered by the cloud, by the light of the moon, cloud is being seen, but that cloud has covered the moon, which we can't see. So the mental system, our world conception has covered the seer, the soul, and by the light of the soul, all these things are have come in our feeling, experience. And they have covered that ahankar. Our individual mental system has covered our own soul. But we can feel them by the light of that very soul. The sun is covered by the cloud. The cloud is seen by the light of the sun. But the sun cloud has covered the sun. We can't see. That is the position.
So Savitur also is Krishna?
No, Savitur is Jiva. Jivatma. Savitur Varannam, he has got his living world there. And what is that? Bhargo. The lustrous world of Krishna. And the Bhargo belongs to Devasya Bhargo. He belongs to Krishna, the Krishna's potencies. And what is Deva? He is playful and he is beautiful. The Deva is beautiful and playful. And his Bhargo, man's potency, that Swarup Shakti, which is to be revered by the Jiva soul, Savitur. Savitur Varannam, revered by the Jiva soul, the realm. And the master of that side is Krishna, who is playful and beautiful. And he will supply us with more potency to serve him. Dhimahi, we shall try to cultivate about him, and he will in turn give us more power to go on with cultivation. Better more the cultivation, the Chidanushidam, in the soul area, we can go on by meditation, Dhimahi, that is service. Because he holds the referent position, superior position to us. So no other energizing is possible in that plane. Only reverence, showing reverence, that is service. Service to the potency. Yojuna Pachudaya. Gayatri, Dhanam, Dhan means release from this song, which can take us to our highest goal. In the comprehensive sense, that Ghana, that all this song has got its root in the fruit, singing of Krishna. That Ghana, Pranam, and the highest gift of that is to engage in our proper service after emancipation. That is inducing, exciting, and appoint-giving engagement in our respective duty. Self-determination. Undetermined self, we have at present, we are not full determination of ourself. At present, we are suffering under. But real self-determination ends in the service of Krishna. And it helps us to be reinstated in that position. So the flute of Krishna, the sound of the flute of Krishna, as well as the sound of the Sankirtan of Mahaprabhu, these two sounds fully sets us in our highest desired position, self-determination. That is Pranam. Another position, we cannot say that we are fully liberated. Liberation has its positive end in the service of Krishna, of sweetness, of beauty. Liberation has got its positive conception there only. Haruji Sabar has Gulokete Sthiti. In occupation of other positions, not to be thought as this fullest realization. There is comparative Krishna, and in Madhur Rasa and the Radha Rasa gradually takes place. Gaur Haribo, Gaur Haribo. Internal adjustment, question of internal adjustment. Religion is proper adjustment. We are living in a discordant organic whole. Want to be properly adjusted. Every one of us aspires for the beauty, for the blissfulness, rasa, for the ecstasy. Demand everywhere, universal demand everywhere for maximum rasa, ananda. No objection can come against it. That is the general aspiration everywhere. Rasu we saw. And our last reach must be somewhere there, in our highest aspiration. Neither mastership of this mundane world, mortal world, nor to enter into some no man's land in unconscious samadhi, savijya mukti. But with full consciousness, with the highest association, and to get the maximum satisfaction of our inner necessity. The general thing. Hare Krishna.
Guru Maharaj, could you explain the different ontological or the ontological differences in the members of the Pancha Tattva?
Yes, there is some differentiation there. The Mahaprabhu, the central figure, the Chaitanya Dev. Krishna in the mood of Radharani. And the side there, side by there, Gadadhar, from whom his sentiment has been drawn, and he just a facsimile, a formal representation standing by. That as a man whose wealth has been robbed, empty-hearted, with the only aim towards Mahaprabhu who has robbed his heart. Gadadhar. And Nityananda Prabhu is playing the part of Balaram. From Balaram comes all other things, Vatsudara, Sakurata, etc. And Srivas Pandit is an ordinary, and the type of an ordinary devotee is representing the general devotee. And Advaita Prabhu, he represents the in charge, the Lord, Bhagavan, who is in charge of the whole mortal area. Karuna Navasai. Uti Shapi Mahamuni, one in a crore, it is hard to get a proper Vaishnava. Sudurlabha. Denotation increases, connotation decreases. Connotation increases, denotation is sure to decrease. So, something anyhow on the whole as Krishna consciousness. In war, so many loss, so many gain. On the whole, who gets the victory, he is the winner. But he has also to incur much loss. The victors, the party who come out victorious from the war, he has to incur many loss. Many lives to be sacrificed.
Kumar, just one side issue. If a person accepts Ketra sannyas, is that generally in older age? Because the sannyasi is to preach. So is it usually in older age that they accept
Ketra sannyasi, Gadadhar Pandit, he took Ketra sannyas. He did not go beyond the jurisdiction that of Puri. But he also preached the great Bhagavatam. And his students, the class students was Mahaprabhu and others. Niram Bhudhitati Sada Sabirha Kripan Nitang Bandhavam. I have composed a sloka. I was going to compile a very gist of Bhagavatam. Bhaktivinoda Thakur has composed 1000 slokas, Bhagavata Kumarichi Mala. I had in mind 2.5 or at least at most 300 slokas to represent the whole Bhagavatam. And I composed an introduction for that book. And there, this sloka is there. Niram Bhudhitati Sada Sabiraha Kripanitang Bandhavam Srimad Bhagavati Katha Mudidaya Sanjeevayan Bhatija Srimad Bhagavatam Sada Saranaya Susupayane Pujayan Goswami Prabharu Gadadhara Prabhu Bhuyad Madi Agati. That's the Gadadhara Prabhu. Let him be my exclusive goal, destination of my whole life. He may be. Who is he? Who is sin to be engaged in a particular duty there in the soul of that infinite ocean. The ocean infinite is there, and just on the shore he is sitting. And what he is doing, his duties, the Akhipa, Sabira Kripanitang Bandhavam. He is giving consolation to his friend. And who is that friend? Who is madly searching his own self. Is mad. Akhipannitam. And very, in very distressed condition. Very greatly afflicted for the separation of his own self. Such friend, he is distributing or giving some wine to give him relief from that pain. And what is that wine? That is Bhagavati Katha. The discourse of Srimad Bhagavatam, of Krishna and the Vrindavan. He is distributing, serving the line of the Bhagavata Katha, who is to his friend, who is suffering from the extreme pain of the separation of his own soul, life. Such is the severe separation pain he is feeling, and separation, Svabiraha, is searching him, separation of his own, from his own self. And it is so painful, afflicted, and to remove away his affliction, he is serving some wine, and that wine coming from the discourse of Srimad Bhagavatam, that Vrindavan story. Nilam bhodhitati sada savidaha khepanitang bandhavam. Srimad Bhagavati Katha Modiraya, Modira mane wine, Modiraya Sanjeevayan Bhatiya, enlivening him by giving that wine of Krishna Katha. Bhatiya, Sada Srimad Bhagavatam, Sada Sanayana Supayani. And he is always worshipping Bhagavatam with the tears of his own eyes. Osu Upayan. Upayan means articles, articles of worship. And what is the articles for the worship of Bhagavatam? His own tears. He is worshipping the Bhagavatam with his own tears. Hari Pujan Goswami Prabhu, Gadadhara Prabhu, Bhuya, I may be blessed with the grace of such Gadadhara Pandit, because he is the master of Bhagavatam, from whom Mahaprabhu listens to Bhagavatam. I invoke his mercy. I am going to produce some gestures of Bhagavatam to give it to the devotees. Gadadhara Pandit was, his identification was that. And Advaita Prabhu, who is a rejoinder, connector, is calling for Mahaprabhu for the Jiva soul. And he is also making some arrangement for his preaching and propaganda. The middleman of the Jiva, for the welfare of the Jiva, he is inviting Mahaprabhu to this mundane world and helping from the background to preach the Lord for the delivery, extensive delivery of this mundane world, helping him. So Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu, Advaita Prabhu, Gadadhara Pandit and the Shiva, those Panchatattva. There is a section who, instead of Srivas Pandit, introduced Narahari Sarkar Thakur as the fifth one. And Chaitanya Mangal School. More or less they are Gaud Nagari. They do not like to see do not love to see Mahaprabhu as a sannyasi. That's Krishna himself. The Narahari Sarkar Thakur is putting this question to Mahaprabhu. Who are you? In disguise of a sannyasi? Are you not that hunter of the gopis in Vrindavan? Now you have become a sadhu, a sage. You are that hunter, and now you have come in the shape of a sage. I know you best. If this they are told, they are more inclined and captured by Vrindavan Lila than this Navadvip Lila. There is a group in the Shokhi of Radharani, in the Shokhi of Vrindavan, some more inclined towards Radharani, some more inclined towards Krishna, and some in the middle. So also the Gaur Lila and Vrindavan Lila. Some more inclined towards Vrindavan. They do not like sannyas of Mahaprabhu, all these things. And some towards Navadvip Lila, more inclined, and some in the middle. So different types of thoughts and representation. Mallanam Asaninang Maravastrinang Saru Murtinam. The same thing according to one's nature and the capacity can be seen in different ways. One and the same thing. But there is comparison. The possible comparison is there. Jadi Rashi Hai Sadbhuttam, Tatasthaya Vitari Deakhe Kavatam. Everyone from his own position there in the liberated stage, they get the maximum rot in that particular form. But if we can have a comparison between the different forms, Santadasya Sakha Vatsalya Madhura, and also this Narayana, this Ramachandra, this Dwarokesh, the differentiation is possible by the research method. It is possible. The comparison is possible. The friendship, there may be many friends in a general way, but there is also section of the friends there may be more intimate, the most intimate, and general friends, and of different type, one in the political friend, one in the social friend, one in the private life friend, maybe of different type and different degrees. Vilas, infinite, accommodating everything, adjustment with the many. In music, the highest concepts of music that can harmonize many nature, the playing instruments and the sounds, etc. The greatest harmony, the credit of the harmony is in this expansive characteristic, comprehensive character, that who can harmonize the things opposite. Opposite things can harmonize. So there the potency of harmony is represented most, which can harmonize the most opposite things, everything. So Chaudhya, Lampatya and Krishna Lila, the thieving, lying, they have got a harmony. To lie, to speak lie for Krishna, that is higher than to speak truth here in this place. Here whatever we say, all will be false. Because the beginning we think that this thing belongs to him, this thing belongs to that. But everything belongs to Krishna, ultimately, in the absolute sense. So whatever we say here, everything is lie, more or less. And whatever is said about Krishna, everything is true, all comprehensive. No lie is possible. So what we throw like mud to him, that can never be mud. Everything is harmonized there, becomes nectar. Hari 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 Krishna, Gaur Hari, Gaur Hari, Gaur. That must be to us, Krishna Praptya. We shall say that throwing to some other direction which I have thrown to Krishna. No. To throw mud to Krishna, that also requires something, some position, bona fide. As we see, Yashoda is weeping, Krishna, Gopal. But that has got also high value. weeping Krishna. Hare Krishna. The gradual process, the bona fide road, Sulta Pantha, the Anugatya Vaishnava, this is indispensable. Otherwise, I shall say someone I shall take as Krishna and then I am going, doing everything for him. That is effective. That is misconception, Maya, hallucination, something like that. That is Tamogun. In Tamogun, in Bhagavad Gita we find that is a firm determination of it in a thing which is not that thing, but very firmly assertion. No, this is that, but really it is not so. This is Tamo. And while there is suspicion, it may be or may not be, that is Raja. And what is really the thing to see and to look at him, that this is Saptaguna. And the Guna Bhumika is automatic. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. No. Mathematical calculation, step by step is necessary. They are all automatic. It's just as our reflex action in the body. There's a Gyan Shunna Bhakti. The Pandit came yesterday, he said, the scholars in India, they generally fail to understand what do you say as Gyan Shunna Bhakti. Gyan, such a, Gyan solution pavitra vartate. The most desirable, and that is at the bottom of all truth. Eliminating Gyan, the knowledge, the consciousness, you say ignorance, that is the highest position. That is higher position than conscious position. We can't understand this. Of Gaudi or something, Gyan Shunna Bhakti. If Gyan, consciousness, calculation, reason, all these higher elements are eliminated, how can it be a good position? And you say this is the highest position? It is ununderstandable, unintelligent. That is the complaint of the general so-called scholars, either Vedic or non-Vedic. I want to eliminate Gyan. But Mahaprabhu eliminated. This is external. Enter into the domain of love. No calculation necessary, all automatic arrangement. Everyone is well assured there. No possibility of being robbed or cheated. The whole soil is happy, affectionate, and conducive to your welfare. Just as when medicine cannot do any good to our health, if we change the climate, without medicine we can get some benefit. The very atmosphere, the air, the water, the shrub, the trees, the creepers, they come to contribute something for our health. So there is a stage where, without calculating one's loss and the gain, everything may be gained. The soil is such opulent and well-meaning. Hare Krishna. Jnana Sundar. Hare Krishna.
You told if a mother gives a son, gives a child, should he test and see if it's poison food or... A wonderful example.
Here mother may poison her son, but there the enemy is also not poisoned. You want to carry poison there, that's who is that Putana. And she was given the highest position of motherly type. Hare Krishna. There is a son and Dizendra here. About motherland, he is writing this poem. Sei desete janma jano sei deseti mori. Where I am born, I aspire that I may die in the very same side. That is our homeland. Homeland. Anyhow, that is our home, we are born there. And went to die there. Religious line would be that from objective to subjective, subjective, super subjective, in this way. Then everything would be reasonable, subjective. And Satchit Ananda. Existence, then consciousness of that existence, and then fulfillment of the existence. Three phases of things to be understood in general way. The fulfillment, the consciousness of the thing, and the existence. Satchit Ananda. Satyam Shivam Sundaram. Satyam means true. Shivam means beyond mortality. That is conscious. Shiva means Chetan. Only consciousness is over mentality, beyond mortality. Chit, Shiva. And then Sundaram. The fulfillment is there. Rasa. Beauty is the harmonizing principle. All harmonizing principle is beauty. Everything wants beauty, charm, ecstasy, universal demand. None can deny. That can command the whole existence. And the reason that calculation in the middle, just as in the in digest system in our body, the voluntary work is not there. By reasoning, we are not finishing our digestion. There is the reflex action. Without our consciousness, the whole blood circulation, digest, so many things are being done. So as it may be applied to us, to the world also. How it is being done without consciousness. So many things, how much consciousness or reason is working in what span of space. The automatic activity is almost everywhere. and very little part affected by our independent thinking, reason, calculation, all these things. But we think it ignorant. The digestive system, the blood circulation, there's so many things. But the scientists, they find that there is more intellect is working underground, higher than they can catch the reason there. When they can find out the threat, they think themselves very wise and very scholarly. If you find out a little thing which is going on beyond the jurisdiction of their so much proud thinking. So how far a thinking has got value? The Gyan, the knowledge. We are making so an uproar. Knowledge is better, knowledge is high. What value is have the knowledge that God, if we carefully try to consider the movements in the nature. The price of knowledge, how much? What little part of the sane working has been understood by these scientific brain? Very negligible part. And we are proud of that. So Dhyan, Sunna, Bhakti, faith, affection, love, that is more higher and desirable companion. The brain, the energy in this world of the scientists are mostly being wasted for the preparation of the dreadful weapons to kill each other. Because want of faith and love and affection. So the greatest portion of the energy of the brain as well as of the property is being used for purpose of killing one another, apathy and not sympathy. Almost the threefold. Because we have got no faith, no affection, no love. And if love, and we may be saved from all these false energizing. So faith, love, affection, that is desirable everywhere. That should be the first point of our attainment. Where it is normal, our aspiration should be have our living there, our home there. So back to God and back to home. Our home is under the holy feet of God.